Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So as most of you guys know, we've been really busy on the old 59 Coronet lately. But I thought maybe today we'd switch gears, do something a little bit different. I do have other projects besides just that one going on, and I've got one right here that's been needing a lot of attention. We've got the old 1970 GMC pickup, and previous video, we've gone in here and we freshened up the engine bay, got it looking nice. And we've also freshened up the engine. She's looking good as well. And I just got a few more pieces to throw at it. I'm putting a brand new starter on it. We're replacing everything. All the accessories, fuel pump, starter, water pump. Everything's going to be new. And I've gotten a good start on it here. We've got, it's a cool little motor. It's got the roller rockers and all that in it. And I think I'm going to put the engine in without the headers. So I've already taken that one off. But we got our gaskets and everything over here. I've been painting some of the other parts, kind of trying to make everything look nice, kind of factory, you know. There's the alternator and the brackets and everything. A few other things down here. We got the power steering pump. That's going to need to go back on. We've got the water pump over here. This is brand new as well. We'll get that cleaned up, just dusty. Been sitting around for a little while. Let's get that installed, get everything cleaned up, and then we're gonna have to go get the transmission. We got an automatic 350 going in, and she's a little dirty. So we're gonna need to clean it up and get it mated to the engine, and then in she goes. I can't wait to see her sitting in there. I think she's gonna look good. Kind of cleaning my mating surfaces off there. A little bit of overspray on them from the spray paint. That's nice and clean now. I got my gaskets over here. We'll get these separated. It's always a good idea to clean the threads off if you got a wire wheel or a bench grinder. Just gonna get a little bit of this overspray off here just like we did the water pump. And we're ready to set her in place. Alright, just getting my gaskets in place here. I like to just put the sealer on the gasket itself and then stick it on there. And that way I don't have a bunch of sealer all, around all this area that you don't need it. So now that the water pump's installed, let's start with our brackets for our alternator. We'll get it on here. See if I remember how all this goes. Alright, easy enough. Alternator, water pump installed. Let's get the power steering pump on there right quick. Shouldn't take but a minute. It's already all painted up and ready to go, so we might as well just get it on here. Alright, just finishing up the front of the motor here. About to have this power steering pump put back on, and that pretty much takes care of the front of the motor. I'm not going to tighten any of this up just yet. We'll wait and we'll put our fan on after it's in the car, or the truck, I'm sorry. Called it a car. Just triggered some of you, didn't I? So it's got a bracket here, and this attached to the factory. This had factory exhaust manifolds on it when I got it. With the factory exhaust manifold, this bracket would go and line up with that bolt hole, and it would bolt in like that. And got a big old space there now, of course. So, I mean, all we got to do is just build a little space right there. We can cut a little chunk of pipe and put it right there if we need to. I know they sell kits for that, but I'm not going to buy one. I'm just going to figure out how much I need there and just fill it in. But for now, like I said, we're not going to put the headers on. We're going to put the engine in the truck without the headers. I think it'll make it a little bit easier. Figured I'd get out here and kind of spray this old transmission off with some, it's just so purple power. This ain't nothing special. We'll kind of hose it down here and hit it with the pressure washer. Alright guys, she's all cleaned up. Let's get her back in the shop. I went ahead and kind of spruced it up with a little bit of paint. This stuff right here works pretty good. I think it looks all right on there. So anyway, I got a new seal, just picked it up from O'Reilly's. I want to get that popped in there. We'll get that old one out, get the new one in, and then we'll bolt this thing up to the engine. I was thinking maybe I could get in here with my little hook and kind of just dig this thing right on out of here. I don't have one of those tools that I don't have one of those seal removal tools, so we're gonna have to kind of do this old school. It's loosening up, it's about to come out. There we go. All right. Get all this cleaned up real good and we'll get our new seal on there. Let's get our new one worked in there. Just want to get it started. Get it started with my little hammer. So now that the seal is in, I think we'll go ahead and get the engine off the engine stand. I've already got everything chained up and ready to go. And we'll get these bolts out, of course. Get it down over there next to the transmission. Let's get it bolted up. All right, officially free from the engine stand. I figured before I forget, it'd probably be a good idea to go ahead and get these flywheel bolts out of here. It's for the torque converter. To bolt to the flywheel, of course. Of course, there's always got to be that one guy. We'll get him out. There he went. Get out of there. Get the transmission slid into place here. Are we missing anything? I always heard it's best to fill these things up with transmission fluid before you put them in. Let's just let that run on down in there. All right, let's give this a shot. I like to kind of get a little bit of transmission fluid on my fingers, just kind of rub it around everything. I even put some up here on some of this. I think she's ready to go. Let's give it a shot. This might get messy. Alright. I mean, it seems like it's all the way in already, actually. Let's see. It's not touching the straight edge. Alright, so I think we're good to go on that. Let's get it all lined up here. Just kind of trying to get everything lined up here. Get this on the dowels. Almost there. We're so close. There we go. Couple bolts started here. Keep them kind of loose at first. So after a little bit of struggling, we did manage to get all the bolts in, all the washers, everything's installed. And you can see here, I mean, the seam is closed, we're buttoned up, and the best part is that the torque converter still spins freely. So, you know, we got it set in there all the way like it's supposed to be. I'm gonna get all these tightened up. I think I'm gonna have to take this bolt out. I think it's sticking out too far. With my luck, it'll hit the firewall or something, but it's in the way of this, and I want this on here. I want all these bell housing bolts in before we even try to put this in the truck. You probably noticed here, there's actually a little, one of these ears are missing. So we need as many bolts in it as possible because we already got one missing, so I'm not gonna mess with it with this one missing as well. So let's get that taken care of. All right, so I'm just finishing up here. I had to move my chain, get it out of the way of this dipstick tube. Just moved it over to the next hole, not a big deal. Cool little trick I learned back in the day. Take an old rubber glove, slip that over the tail shaft, like that. And you could go as far as to throw a little tape around it even. Now that's going to keep the transmission fluid from running all over the ground when we start tilting this thing all over the place. Thought maybe we'd get in and clean the old transmission cross member, have it all degreased and ready to install before we start hoisting that engine around. Alright, so we got her all cleaned up. Let's dust a little color on it. Just trying to make it look a little nicer. I'm not going to get too carried away with it, but definitely don't want to be putting old greasy, nasty parts back on it. That wouldn't be cool. So I'll finish painting this up, and it's engine time. Alright, so that actually cleaned up pretty nicely. Nothing fancy, you know. I mean, you know how we are here. We do everything on an extremely tight budget, super DIY friendly. We're not custom builders by any stretch of the imagination. We're just regular guys just like you, just out here in the shop trying to put together something to go ride around and have some fun in, you know? And that's it. That's about all we got, you know? We'll see about getting the motor in there. Should I try doing this by myself? I don't recommend doing this by yourself. It always helps to have a buddy in a situation like this, but I did pull it out by myself. So I don't have anybody here right now, and I'm ready to get this in here. This is where, right here, this is where she needs to be. I'm tired of it being out here in the way. I'm gonna go for it. Wish me luck. Hopefully we can do it without scratching everything all up. Well, you know, we've already gone in here and spray painted everything, made it look, you know, halfway decent. I don't want to go messing it all up, so I'll try my best. Let's give it a shot, see what happens. I definitely don't recommend doing it in flip-flops. All right, it's officially in the air. All right, you guys have to bear with me while I work through this. It's gonna take a minute, and it's gonna look very sketchy at best. There's inch by inch here. Just kind of inching the truck forward just a little bit. I really don't even want to go any higher. We'll just keep going like this till we get that over that. Just about there. All right. All right, we've officially cleared the radiator support there, so let's go a little further and I'll start bringing it down a little bit. I think I'm gonna go a little further forward. All right, let's start bringing it down just a hair. Okay, we'll come forward some more. It's just going to go back and forth like this. Just about to start touching the firewall. We've got a little further to go. Okay, let's stop right there for a second. Let's try bringing it down just a little bit more. We'll roll it forward some more too. Up to the point of touching the firewall. Let's come down a little more again. A little more. All right. About to run out of room there. Let's see if we can come forward some more. We'll drop down just a little more actually. Let it slide down in there a little bit. Be very careful doing this. All right, so basically we're just trying to get it to slide down in there, and at the same time just kind of slide right on the edge of that radiator support. It's going to be close. I mean, it may not work. We may have to start over and reposition some stuff. I don't know. This is how I pulled it out, but going back in, that's a whole nother story sometimes. Watch this line here. We don't want to put any tension on it. There we go. Gonna help that down in there. Okay, so we've made it off of here. Try not to stick my finger underneath there. And we're sliding right down in there, just perfect. So let's come down some more. So far, so good. Okay. Now I can see what's happening on the tail shaft. There's a lip. There it went, there it went. It just cleared it. There was a lip underneath there, and it was kind of catching on it. Okay. The problem we're going to start having now is this part. Let's see if we can help it out. Now it seems like we should be going down in there at this point. Okay, there we go. I think I'm gonna have to go underneath it. Yep. All right, let's go underneath. Well, damn, we ripped a hole in my rubber glove. Now we got a mess on the floor. All right, let's throw another one on there. Now that we're in, you got caught on the firewall. It's to be expected. See if we can get another one on there. I don't know. There we go. All right. We're catching right up here. Alright, so we're kind of catching right here. Let's see what we can do, if anything. Yeah, we're kind of caught. Okay, so I'm gonna have to jack it up a little more and get uncaught off of this lip right here. And I just laid right in that damn transmission fluid. Awesome. Yeah, we're just kind of wedged in there a little bit. That's okay. We'll come up just a hair, go and get it back up out of there. After I'll pull that pulley off of there. Hell, we'd be in by now if it wasn't for the pulley. I think we might be asking for a little too much, leaving the pulley on there. That's okay. We'll get it off there right quick, and I think we'll go right in after that. Alright, so let's get this out of the way. This was just me wishful thinking is what this was. Alright, now we won't have any issues after that. Okay, let's drop it down in there just a little bit. There we go. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so I managed to gain some clearance back there on the firewall down there at the bottom. You know, these transmissions have that little stud sticking out. It tries to catch inside of that, right inside of that lip down there where the transmission tunnel. But we've cleared it, and we are home free at this point, I do believe. All right, so we're getting very, very close. I think if I just move the truck forward just a little bit, we'll have it. Somewhere in this vicinity. Let's drop it down some more. That was just the oil pressure line. Got caught on the throttle over there. Nothing to worry about. May have went a little too low. At this point, I'll start jacking up the back of the transmission, and it should, you know, level out. And basically, we just want that to sit right there on its perch, and it gets one bolt, comes up through the bottom, and that's it. She's in, and we'll throw her cross member for the transmission that we cleaned and painted, and she'll be in after that. I mean, man, we are so close. It just needs to come forward just a little bit more. I think it's my jack that's hanging up, actually. I think I'm gonna push the truck backwards just a little bit. Something about like that right there. I mean, that should be it. And all it gets, this bolt right here, goes up through the bottom of that motor mount, one on each side. And like I said, that transmission mount in the back, and she's in. I mean, I can feel it. It's right there. Oh, I think yeah. It started. Awesome. Okay. So we're good to go on that one. So before we tighten that all the way, let's go over to the other side and get that one started. Well, I tell you what, for a second, I didn't think I was going to get that one in there. That one kind of fought me a little bit. That's all right. This one's in. We'll get the other side tightened up. We'll be good to go after that. Well, okay, let's see about getting this cross member in. Now, this thing was a pain to get out. I remember I had to beat it out of there. It was ridiculous. All right, let's see here. Yeah, this was definitely This was no fun getting out of here, I remember, and it took a lot of beating and banging with a hammer.
I'll have to get the last of the crossmember bolts in. These things are such a pain to line up. You got 4 holes on each side. 2 on top of the frame rail, 2 on the bottom of the frame rail, and it wedges itself in between the frame rail. I mean, it's not easy to get in there, but we are managing. We're down to just the last couple of bolts here, so we're just about to be good to go. Before I tighten up any of the crossmember bolts, I'll go ahead and get this transmission mount started. That way everything is lined up. All the bolts are screwed into their holes where they go, and then I can go through and just zip it all together. So there we go, everything's lining up now. Get out the air ratchet and go to work. Alrighty, it's official. The engine is in. That is so nice. Let's go ahead and get this on out of here. I'll tell you what, man, that has been long overdue. I am very, very happy to have that in there finally. Man, looks good in there. Well, we managed to get it in there without scratching anything. That's a plus. So what else left to do to it? Well, we'll have to put the headers on it, the starter, of course, carburetor, and the distributor cap. You know, just small things. We'll run the fuel lines to it. Those tanks probably have to be drained out. It's been sitting for a while now, a couple of years at least. So we'll drain the tanks, put some fresh fuel in, but she's in there. She's all buttoned up. Everything's tightened up. So this is the carburetor that came off of it. I wanted to show some of you guys. It's a Holley. I'm not even sure what size it is. Kind of old school. I mean, it's got a manual choke style. I bought this here. This is a rebuild kit. It's got all kinds of stuff in it that we could use. Pretty much everything you would need. All the gaskets, seals, I mean everything. It's got these here. These are like the metering. I forgot exactly what these were called. Some kind of a metering something or other. Well, I'm not a carburetor guy, you know. I mean, I could take them apart, clean them up, put them back together, but as far as being like really knowledgeable of carburetors, I'm just not the guy. My solution when it comes to this kind of a deal is just to throw a new carburetor on it, and I know that might sound bad, but I really do think in this case that would be the best. So let me know, you guys, are you guys into this old truck? I know a lot of you guys are here for the old 59 over there, and that's cool. That's to be expected. That's a really fun project we got going on over there. But like I said, I've got numerous projects going on. A lot of you guys are wanting the old Datsun, wondering what happened to the Datsun. It's still here, and we're going to drag it in here and get to work on it here very, very soon. I think fall, winter, and spring are the best times to work on your side projects. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing around here. Lots of side projects. So you guys stay tuned. Really do appreciate everybody watching. All the support, man. We got a lot of you guys out here, man, sending us supplies for the 059. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It just blows me away that you guys care enough to want to contribute to these projects. I think it's really, really cool. I want to give a shout out, and I'm going to start giving shout outs to people. And don't worry, if I don't get you the first time, I'll get you. I promise. I'm keeping good track of who is supporting the channel, sending supplies and things. And I want to give a shout out to Roger Fleury. Really cool dude, man. He's not only been sending stuff for my channel and my projects, he's been helping out my daughter over there, me, myself, and Darlene, working on that Nissan hardbody. He's been helping her out with her projects, sent her all kinds of stuff. I'll let her tell you guys about that on her channel. But I want to say, a special thanks to Roger, man. Awesome deal. I can't believe some of the stuff that he's sent already is just like, wow, dude. Blowing me away, man. Very, very much appreciated. Don't get too carried away, all right? And what I mean by that is I know times are tough out there for everybody, and I don't want you guys to put yourselves in a bind, that's for sure. I've had several of you guys comment that I need to start a Patreon, and I never even thought about it until now, and I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I should start it. Leave a comment. What do y'all think? Should I start a Patreon? Kind of help out with some of these projects around here. So anyway, I'm going to get on out of here for now. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget my Instagram. There'll be a link in the description as always. And check me out on Facebook, man. Send me a friend request. Weird Beard on Facebook. And don't forget, be sure to let me know. Do you guys into these other projects? Or I know some of you guys are just here for this one. But like I said, we've got others. So, but it's getting late. I am filthy. I'm tired. I'm going in the house. I'll see you guys next time.